I start with the premise of why not just be happy and whole and complete and loving and kind and compassionate and caring and all the things that you want to be? Go first, be that, and then from that you'll find out how you do everything else. It's an attitude. It's the mindset. It's the Neville Goddard said, he wasn't the first to say it, but he said it in such a beautiful way. It was, he said, live from the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as if it's already the case. In
Yeah.
acting, we pretend, or we take on through method acting the characteristics or the attributes of somebody else by acting as if we're that person. So there's a certain amount of, let's say, play involved, or a certain amount of pretend involved. But if you pretend long enough, the great hypnotist Milton Erickson said you can pretend anything and master it. And then we also know the saying that, a lie repeated often enough becomes substituted as the truth. So Napoleon Hill said, if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. He didn't say you will achieve it. When he was asked, why did you say will? He said, because I don't know what you're going to do. You may or may not do anything with it, and most people won't. But I start with the premise that you're perfect as you are, and you don't know that. And the only reason you have problems is because you think you have problems. You think it's a problem. If you consider something a problem, it is a problem. You're declaring it so. You're making it so. Not that there aren't things that happen in the world, but when you look at the world and you label them and judge them, before humans arose on the planet as a consciousness, there were earthquakes and fires and lightning strikes, and dinosaurs perished and animals died, and thunderstorms came through, and there was no one there to call it good or bad, right or wrong, or anything. There was no judgment. There was no label. The things just were. And when you watch the news nowadays, when somebody loses their home in a tornado or a fire, they interview people, and one person goes, "Oh, I'll never be able to live. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's terrible." And I don't mean to be making fun of them, because it is a difficult, dire, and horrible situation. But another person goes, "It's just a house. It's just a house. We'll rebuild. We'll figure it out." And they say, "Well, I don't have any money." Well, that's okay. There are people in the planet who have nothing. They eat dirt. They have nothing, and they are happy. They're smiling. They've got wonderful relationships, and they live their life for however long they live their life in joy. And then there are people who have everything they could possibly want, and they're discontent, happy. They hate each other. They hate themselves, and So when it all boils down to it, it's our choice, and it's whether we discover that we have a choice. Number one, that's truly important, because a lot of people aren't aware that they have choice. So I want to introduce them to that concept. And two, if they choose, I always do this, doctor, it's dog shit or diamonds. It's your choice. And a lot of people choose dog shit. I mean, they really are dog crap. I should be careful what I say here, but but they could be choosing diamonds. They look at circumstances in their life and they go, "This sucks, this is terrible," and so they make that judgment, and then they live from those feelings, from those mindsets, from those declarations, and from those behaviors. And no one has to. No one has to. They can be different.